Okay, in this message, I'm going to share with you a new spin on the term mom brain in hopes that it helps you take action on the days when you really don't feel like it. So, this episode and the ones surrounding it are all about field notes and things, reframes that have been useful to me in building a foundation of habits supportive of my physical health and energy. But I'm also now applying it to recording these podcast messages to share with you as opposed to hoarding the goods for myself. And this one is specifically for the angle. There's a lot of overlap here, but I'm sharing this angle and this thought with you in hopes that it'll help you pattern interrupt on the days when you have a very loud, whiny voice in your head. And I don't mean whiny in a derogatory term, but think of kids. Like, this is the example that we're going with mom brain. Okay, so I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. This was me on Saturday. So, yes, I have been pretty solid at establishing these habits. I've got currently like months of doing these habits every day under my belt right now, knowing that some days I'm going to skip and that's totally fine. And we'll talk about that in another episode of how it's not about like consistent perfection, but inconsistent perfection. Inconsistency is a perfection. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But the point is, I don't always want to do it, and I don't always have great physical energy just because that's what I've been working on supporting. I'm talking about like foundational energy, by the way, because like iron deficiencies and nutrients and minerals and things like that. That's when I say physical energy. It's like I want to be able to get out of bed and function and do things that I want to do. But sometimes I have lower energy than others, the cyclical nature of being a woman, in my late 30s. And so this weekend, for example, I just didn't want to do the things and I waited too long. So the resistance had time to wake up and get comfortable and get really, really loud. So this is Saturday, the day before Mother's Day. I was solo parenting because my husband, Jeremy, thank you, Jeremy, for your service, was away working. And I was tired. We did wake up and go to my niece's volleyball game, which was like a fun way to get up and go. But because that was literally what we did, we just got up with just enough time to get dressed, have breakfast, and go. I didn't do my usual habits that I've been stacking in the morning. And so, like I've mentioned before, for example, this is a pelvic floor workout that's like 9 minutes this week. And then my other 15-minute workout. It's not a big old thing. Like, none of this is this huge, oh my gosh, jumpy, sweaty. I don't do that. I don't do that. But the habits I've been cultivating take less than 30 minutes. And they work best in the morning for me before my resistance wakes up, if I can like sneak them in before the buzzer. But I didn't on Saturday. And I wanted to do them, but I didn't want to do them. And this is the point of the mom brain. Because think about if you have kids or nieces, nephews, even maybe your dog, taking your dog outside. Maybe the dog doesn't want to go potty this one more time, but this is the last call before we go to bed and you got to go. There's the mom brain that kicks in, the message that's holding the line and holding the vision for a bigger picture than the immediate gratification of, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Like my little lady today did not want to get out of bed because she was so toasty and cozy under the covers. I'm like, I know it can actually be really hard to get up and go, and we're still going to do it. So the point of mom brain for this purpose is to tap into that voice inside your head. Turn down the volume on the voice that doesn't want to do it. It's fine. That's normal for it to be there, especially when you're creating a new habit and you're interrupting the flow of what you've normally been doing. Our brains are like, what are we doing? What do you mean? This has changed. I don't like it. It's the lights on and the covers ripped off of you. It's like, hold on a second there. But we want to turn down the volume on the voice that doesn't want to do it just long enough to turn up the volume on your mom brain, that executive center that's pulling from a bit of wisdom, a little trusty intelligence, and can hold the vision for the bigger picture benefits of just getting started and getting the ball rolling. So again, think of your kid doesn't want to brush teeth or take a bath or go to sleep or go to school. Think about any of these examples. You're not just going to be like, okay, that's fine. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to. There may be some rare exceptions throughout the year where you're like, yeah, actually, this is one of those handful of times where it's fine. We're going to brush those teeth extra well and floss tomorrow. But tonight they're exhausted and sleep is actually more important. And that's fine. You use your better judgment to override and write a little permission slip there. That's fine. But otherwise, most nights, we do want them to brush their teeth for the immediate benefit of short term, we don't want those sugar bugs hanging out in your mouth. I'm thinking also 6 months from now, whenever we go to the next dentist appointment and they're asking how are things going, and they can see, have we actually been taking care of these teeth? And then also long term, specifically with the kids in the toothbrushing example, I like to say, let's envision you eating and enjoying your 100th birthday cake with these very teeth. So that's a vision for the longer term. My mom brain is holding the line, even when my 3, 8, and 12-year olds are like, no, I don't want to do it. It's okay. I understand you don't want to do it, and we're still going to do it. Mom brain overrides, and then they feel better and they sleep better, and yay for dental health. Same can go for bath school. School is a helpful example if you think about if they want to stay home, but they're not actually sick, then it's like, okay, we could do that, but eventually someday you might actually be sick and need to stay home to rest and protect other people from getting your cooties and whatever. And we only have so many days where we can do that without like logistics of, okay, I don't know what they call it, seat time or whatever you would have to do because you had too many absences. Mom brain is through love and leadership looking at the longer term picture here and holding the standard. Like, I understand that maybe you don't feel like it for this reason. What are some other things we can do to tend to those needs and also know that we are still going to school today? So it's acknowledging, yes, I know it can feel hard when you don't want to do it, and we're still doing it. And it's not from a place of because I said so. It's because it's my job to take care of you as you're learning to take care of yourself. And that's an important distinction because I for whatever reason, it's not like my parents were really hardcore or anything. My mom wasn't, I don't even know if she ever said, because I said so. But that just kind of gets in my mind. If I think about discipline or habits, it can feel very forced and rigid. And that doesn't feel good. And then I'll rebel against it. But when I think about it with my kids, I really do try never to say because I said so. It's like, well, they have a legit curiosity and question and they want to know why we're doing this. So I want to help them understand that they can see the natural consequences of not brushing your teeth or missing too much school for unnecessary reasons and things. And so I say it's because it's my job to take care of you as you're learning to take care of yourself. And so we can say that to ourselves. We can, if we can just leave enough space for mom brain to like peek through the door on the days and the moments that we don't want to do the thing, if we can just leave space for her voice to come in, not because she's a vigilant dictator or anything, but because she wants what's best for us and she wants to help us learn how to take care of ourselves, assuming this habit is something that you perceive is helping you take better care of yourself. So that's the point. That's the message here is mom brain really valuing that voice, knowing you've got it because you do it for your kids if you have kids or your employees or like whatever your situation is. Just if we can just leave the door open, cracked, even just unlocked, even if it's not cracked, just long enough to entertain the thought and let mom in. We're just leaving space for possibility that we can mute, pause, change the channel on the voice that's like, I really don't want to do it, just long enough to get the ball rolling with a tap. Imagine a ball at the top of a hill. And all it takes is a tap. And then once the ball's rolling, it's like, okay, we're good here. While also noting, maybe you get the ball rolling and then you start doing whatever the thing is, like if it was a workout, for example, and then it's still a big no, then trust that you can cross that bridge when you get there and be like, no, actually, it doesn't feel loving to continue this. And so I'm glad I went for it and I gave it a shot. But what I actually need is rest or whatever the thing is. So for me, an example of getting the ball rolling and what I did Saturday, I heard the voice that was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I like to do it better in the morning and the morning is over. So now it's that. But I also had the mom brain that's like, yeah, but we've been starting and stopping this program multiple times over the past year. We're in week 5. It's a 5-week program. We're almost complete with it. This is the lift program, the pelvic floor program that I was telling you about. It's only a 5-week program and I started week 1 like 3 times last year. So I'm like, honey, you're on a roll. We've got this. We're enjoying crossing it off on the list with the dry erase marker every day that we do it and marking it on the calendar. We're going to do this. And so just the like tiniest little first step for me to tap the ball to get it rolling downhill is to open the Kajabi app where the course is hosted. And I know once I've opened the Kajabi app, okay, then inspiration rises to meet me when I just tap it. So maybe for you, it's opening the dock or whatever it is for the habit. But if you could just give your mom brain a chance to step in and do what she does best, again, it's from a place of love and leadership. It's not force and rigidity. It's because she loves you. And it's her job to take care of you as you're learning to take care of yourself in this way. If you could just give her some airtime, you might be surprised to see what happens. So the point of this is to let you know and highlight that that voice does also exist. So if you can just give her the mic, just again, unlock the door and like open, leave yourself open to the possibility that she's in there and she's got your back and she can talk you into and make the case for just getting the ball rolling on the days when you don't feel like doing it. And again, I'd rather shrink the time horizon rather than say day, but the moments when you don't feel like doing it, just give her the mic just long enough and then see what happens. Mom Brain for the win. I hope this helps you. Let me know by hitting the comment box. And I want to know, like, what's this stirring up over there? And how's it working for you? It's been working for me, but I want to know if it's working for you, and I can't unless you tell me. Okay, I'll meet you back here soon. Okay, technically that was the end of the episode, but since you're still here, one, I'd love to thank you for spending part of your day with me, and two, I'd love to ask you if you would take 30 seconds, maybe 60, to leave a rating and review in your podcast app before you tap out today. If you've already done that, it's amazing. Please send me a screenshot so I can thank you personally, and know that sharing this episode with a friend has the same magical powers, and I deeply appreciate both. Also, in case you're listening to the end to see if I ever actually introduce myself, hi! My name is Nikki Elledge Brown. I'm the host and author of Naptime Empires and this here On Her Terms podcast. You can find me around the internet at Nikki Elledge Brown in most places, but what you may appreciate most is actually over at onherterms.com. It's what I call the insider library. It's where you can get inside scoop, first listen rights, email updates every time there's a new episode, and then special insider only bonus content. It's all over in our private feed. Okay, that's a wrap for real. I'll meet you in the next episode.